Councilman Munger,
Present.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Absent.
Supervisor Keating,
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Present.
Councilwoman Martin.
Present.
Councilwoman Martin, pledge of allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this evening we have no other preliminary matters. Moving on to item number 2 for regular business. We have item number 1, which is a correction adoption of minutes from the February 27th, 2019 and the March 6th, 2019 board meetings. Councilwoman Lukacek.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I had the opportunity to review the minutes. I see no corrections. I make a motion that we adopt the minutes from February 27th and March 6th of 2019.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Can I make a request that we separate the motions for each meeting, please?
I make a motion that we adopt the minutes for February 27th, 2019.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Abstain?
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Abstain.
Motion failed.
I make a motion we adopt the minutes for March 6th, 2019.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Abstain.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 2 is the consideration of all fund bills. Councilman Munger.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Yes, after being able to audit the bills, I would like to make a motion that we pay all fund bills totaling an amount of $385,594.53.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. So under correspondence this evening, the first item that we have is the February 2019 income statement, and item number 2 is the planning board officer appointments. And I will move on to, actually, we have a public hearing this evening, so I'll move on to item number 2 under new business, application for use facility for the Boston Youth Soccer League. Councilwoman Martin.
Okay, we received a request for the use of facility from the Boston Youth Soccer League. They are requesting the use of the Boston Town Park Lion Shelter and Town Fields, with parking for over 50, but we did not receive their $75 fee, so I will make a motion to approve this contingent upon receipt of the fee for the use of facilities.
I second.
Councilman Munger,
I'm just going to add to that they are requesting multiple dates. The Lions Shelter will be for October the 5th, 2019 for their post-game party, and then they're also requesting for the entire season from 7/22 of 19 to 10/5 of 19. That's what they were asking for the fields. With that adjustment, yes.
Thank you, Zach.
Of course.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we'll do item number 3 under new business, which is the application for use of meeting facility for the Suburban Adult Services. Councilwoman Martin.
Thank you, Supervisor. This is, we received an application for the use of town meeting facility, which they are requesting to use the courtroom on the 25th of April to conduct interviews. It's a job fair for Suburban Adult Services. I make a motion to approve the use of this facility.
I'll second that.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 4 under new business tonight is the Zoning Board of Appeals Chairman request for Lisa Root as a full voting member of the ZBA. Councilwoman Martin.
Again, we received a request for appointment for making Lisa Root a full voting member for the Zoning Board of Appeals, and since I am the liaison, Lisa's been very involved, and I approve that, that we suggest she's a full voting member for the zoning board.
I'll second.
Term, Councilman.
Oh, I'm sorry, the term is for April 1st, 2019 to April 1st, 2024.
I will second that.
Councilman Munger,
Yes?
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, a couple more minutes. So we have item number 5 under new business, Robert Woodring, request to reappointment to the zoning board of appeals and ZBA chairman recommendation. Councilwoman Martin.
Again, zoning board is asking for the reappointment of Robert Woodring, same term, thank you. Dates of April 1st through, April 1st, 2019 to April 1st, 2024. And I make a motion to approve his reappointment.
I'll second that also.
Councilman Munger,
Yes?
Councilman Karakini. Oh, I'm sorry. Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we've got a couple more minutes. So we'll move on to items number 6 and 7. We're going to combine these tonight. It's under new business. This is for Kathy Pajaklo she has a request in to attend a New York Planning Federation Conference, and also Tracy Hurst request to attend the New York Planning Federation Conference. I'm taking this particular request, both these requests came in together, and we're going to pass this back to the planning board chair as in the budget. It was only budgeted for one individual to attend, so I don't know if one of you want to discuss who wants to attend, or if you want to see if somebody else wanted to attend, but we'll table it for, I'm going to make a motion to table these two requests and let the chairwoman respond back to the town board and put this on the next agenda.
I second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we'll move into the, under old business, we have a public hearing just scheduled for 7:45. This is a public hearing for a local law amending chapter 104 of the Boston Town Code, which is subdivision of land. Councilwoman Lukacek.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. A public hearing originally scheduled for February 20th, 2019, was canceled due to lack of quorum, has been rescheduled and shall be held by the Town Board of the Town of Boston on March 20th, 2019 at 7:45 p.m. at the Boston Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road, Boston, New York, to hear any and all persons either for or against 2019 local law intro number 1, entitled A Local Law Amending Chapter 104 of the Boston Town Code, Subdivision of Land. This local law amends the Boston subdivision regulations in order to improve, clarify, and update the format, the standards, procedures, and administrative aspects of those regulations. Copies of the proposed law sponsored by myself, Councilmember Lukacek, are on the file in the town clerk's office Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. This was dated March 6, 2019, published March 8, 2019, by order of the town board. Thank you, Sandra Quinlan, town clerk.
I will open the floor for public comment. No public comment, I will close the floor. Okay, moving on to item number 2 under old business, we have resolution 2019-09, which is to seek a review for 2019 local law number 1. Councilwoman Lukacek.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Resolution 2019-09 is the seeker review for the 2019 local law intro number 1, titled A Local Law Amending Chapter 104 of the Boston Town Code, Subdivision of Land. I'm not going to read the whole 2 pages of this, so I'll bring up some synopsis. The town board has received a short EAF, environmental assessment, and has considered the potential environmental impacts of the proposed action, applied for the criteria for determining significance found at 6 NYCRR 617.7C. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Boston hereby determines that the adoption of the proposed local law constitutes an unlisted action that is subject to seeker, and that there is no federal or other involved agencies with respect to this action. And the town board hereby declares itself to be the lead agency for this action, and that the short EAF is sufficient to determine the significance of this land. Be it further resolved that this determination of significance shall be considered a negative declaration made pursuant to Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law, and that this determination is based on the following facts and conclusions. Number one, the adoption of the local law will not result in any direct action or physical change to the environment. Number two, any changes to the environment may occur from adoption of the local law would be indirect and result from future undertakings that would be permitted by the local law. And number three, adoption of the local law does not include any proposal to undertake such activities at this time. I make a motion we approve resolution number 2019-9, the seeker review for local law intro number 1, titled Local Law Amending Chapter 104 of the Town of Boston Subdivision of Land.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukasik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay.
Thank you.
Going to wrap up the old business. Item number 3 is resolution 2019-10, authorizing the adoption by the Boston Town Board of the Town of Boston of 2019 local law number 1. Councilwoman Lukasik.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. First resolution was to review the seeker and announce the town board as a lead agency. This next portion is now the resolution to actually adopt the local law. So, local law resolution 2019-10, the town board of the town of Boston hereby adopts said 2019 local law entitled A Local Law Amending Chapter 104 of the Boston Town Code Subdivision of Land. The town, and resolve that the town clerk be and hereby is directed to enter said law into the minutes of this meeting, and that the local law book of the town of Boston, and to give due notice of the adoption of the said law to the Secretary of State of New York. I make a motion that we approve the resolution number 2019-10.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukasik,
Yes,
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, so I will actually open up the floor, going back up to item number 1, or new business. Please come to the microphone, state your name. You have three minutes on the floor.
Yes, Joe Wells, 7840 Boston State Road. Over the last 5 weeks, once a week, sometimes it's only 3 hours, it's been as much as 15 hours, we lose power. And it's only north of Patchen Road. I understand that some of it was due to the severe winds. I do not fault any, nice site for that. They can't control the weather. But a good example was just Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. The power went out and we were without power till noon. It was a beautiful day, there was no wind, and if it was a routine maintenance, we weren't notified by NICEAG. Usually if it's routine maintenance, NICEAG, sends out flyers or whatever that we're gonna be shutting the power off, and I just wondered if the town board could look into it or get a hold of NICEAG and see why north of Patchen Road are we always losing power, and south of Patchen Road is fine.
Yep, I actually have that answer for you. Actually, it's something I was bringing up in my report, Joe.
Okay.
Yep. No, I can answer that for you, and actually, I know there's a bunch of people on Meadow. So essentially, what's happened with NICEAG, the substation that is located on South Abbott Road is actually slated to be repaired, hopefully this year. They're going through the bidding process right now to have it repaired, but that is the substation that's creating those outages on the north end of town. NICEAG is well aware of the situation, as is obviously all of the residents that are affected by that on a continuous basis, and you're hitting the nail on the head. I mean, I don't think it was 15 minutes after the power went off that residents were calling into the town hall saying, why is my power out again? Because I can look outside, and it'd be one thing if it was a weather event, but we've got blue skies and sunshine, and what happened. I have been in contact. Susan Westfall is our government relations representative that I've been working with actually for well over a year. And I discussed this a little bit at the last board meeting. But essentially, it could be, as crazy as this may sound, it could be anything from a squirrel tripping the lines, and it trips the breaker, the transformer. If you have a wind or power event, and again, this goes into my report a little bit, but I'll certainly cover it now as it's a concern that you have. when the power goes out, let's say that severe wind event where we had winds 60 to 70 miles an hour. If there's an area where there's a transmission line down, et cetera, the first mission is to restore power. Then, as you stated, if they have to go back and do secondary or tertiary repairs, what they'll then do is put out some, if possible, put out some kind of a notice. It's not always as easy as it sounds, as crazy, as crazy as that may sound itself, to put out a notice. They do try to notify the public, but a lot of times, NYSEG does reach out to contractors. Contractors, and I'll use the windstorm again as the example. Contractors came from Montreal, they came from Quebec, they pulled them in from Florida. They actually had contractors on site at all the different substations. So if there was a power outage, they were physically on site. They could essentially triage from that substation and then branch out. In certain cases, again, the way that these different areas are broken out, there are almost like, think of like a circuit breaker in your house. It doesn't, without getting too technical, it's like a circuit breaker in your house. It's as a pole, and literally at times they will restore power, fix it, let's say a power line or a transmission line, and then it's just a crew literally going out, jumping up on either the ladder or the bucket truck, going up, flipping that breaker, power comes back on to that segmented area. NYSEG's well aware of it. Again, they have actually a lot of pressure from New York State right now. I've seen this on social media where I have residents comparing NYSEG to National Grid and vice versa. It's a struggle for NYSEG right now. I'm not defending them, but it is a struggle for them right now. The Public Service Commission, if you've looked at even the Buffalo News going back even a couple of years, the Public Service Commission is fined NYSEG for infrastructure and other things. They're trying to do the best. They are working at it. They're well aware of the issue. I certainly hear what the residents are saying. We as a town board, we don't have a lot of control over the situation, unfortunately. I wish we did have more, but that's where we work for the public, we work for the residents. So when you obviously voice that concern, just as when the residents called me the other day saying, blue skies, no wind, no snow, what the heck's going on? First person I reached out to was Susan over at NYSEG, and they have been very receptive and willing to answer what the issues are. So I'll continue to do that, but hopefully with, knock on wood for all of us here, that substation will be actually hopefully repaired, if not possibly even replaced, depending on how some of those bids come in. Hopefully this year, but that statement's coming directly from NYSEG, that it is an identified problem location, and when it takes out Boston, it takes out part of Hamburg and a small section of Orchard Park as well when it goes out. So there's the long answer to your very short question.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And to everybody else, folks down on Meadow Drive and all the other areas of the community, it's a known issue. So we'll keep working on it. If you have any questions, if you want to discuss it further, reach out to my office. Anybody else? Okay, I will close the floor then. All right, moving on to item number 8 then. We have resolution 2019-12, which is the secret review for the Boston Fire Station number 2. Councilwoman Lukacek.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The resolution 2019-12 is the secret review for the Boston Fire Station number 2. Through its engineer, has submitted a site plan dated March 15, 2019 for a proposed new 5,544 square foot Fire Station 2 on the South Feddick Road in Boston, New York. This proposed action is classified as unlisted with respect to seeker, and the unlisted actions are subject to environmental review. And the town board has determined that the project will not have a significant adverse impact on the environment. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Boston declares itself as lead agency with respect to the environmental review of the project. And it is further resolved that the town board of the town of Boston hereby makes a negative declaration pursuant to seeker for the proposed construction of the new 5,544 square foot fire station on South Feddick Road, Boston, New York, consistent with their December 5th, 2018 site plan prepared by Carmina Wood Morris. I make a motion that we approve resolution number 2019-12.
I'll second that. Shelley can have it.
Council Munger,
Yes?
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 9 under new business this evening is resolution 2019-13, which is the site plan approval for the Boston Fire Station number 2. Councilwoman Lukacek.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The site plan approval for the Boston Fire Station number 2 was thoroughly reviewed by the planning board. The planning board on March 12th by unanimous vote, determined to forward the final site plan for the project to the town board with the recommendation that the town act favorably on the site plan. The town engineers provided a letter dated March 15th, 2019, outlining several minor site-related issues that should be addressed prior to the development of the site, and the town, acting as lead agency, has completed the environmental review on March 20th, 2019, in conformance with the seeker regulations, and on to March 20th, 2019, a negative declaration was issued. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Boston hereby approves March 15th, 2019 site plan for the 5,544 square foot fire station on South Fettick Road, Boston, New York, as prepared by Carmina Wood Morris, DPE, on the condition that the applicant shall address the issues raised on the town engineer's March 15, 2019 letter prior to the development of the site, and accordingly no permit shall issue for construction until the town engineer signs off on the site plan. On March 20th, the question of the adoption of the foregoing resolution was duly put to a vote. I make a motion that we approve resolution number 2019-13.
I'll second that.
Councilman Munger,
Yes?
Councilman, Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay,
Thank you.
moving on to item number 10 under new business, we have resolution 2019-14, which is authorizing of additional accessory building at 5686 Homestead Road, Hamburg, New York. Councilwoman Martin.
Yes, we have a resolution 2019-14. The Duffy, Anthony and Catherine Duffy have requested permission for additional accessory building at their property located at 5686 Homestead Road. The zoning board of appeals on March 7th approved the variance for the square footage for the structure, and the code enforcement officer has also advised the town board that the proposed pole barn does meet code requirements for size and location. So I make a motion to accept this resolution.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes?
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 11 under new business this evening, we have resolution 2019-15, which is authorizing the purchase of courtrooms seating. Councilman Munger.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Yes, anybody who's been attending regularly has heard quite a bit about this in regards to the fact that we will be replacing the seats that you are sitting on, since we know they are so very comfortable for everybody. This is pursuant to Justice Course grants. Funds are available to the town of Boston to upgrade the seating in the courtroom and town board meeting room. Be it resolved that the town board of Boston, New York hereby authorizes, and it hasn't even been a long day, the supervisor to use the proceeds from a Justice Courts grant to pursue 68 chairs and required brackets from Millington Lockwood at a total cost not to exceed $12,677.33. I would like to make a motion to approve resolution 2019-15.
I second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, moving on to item number 12 under new business, we have resolution 2019-16, which is amending the 2018 budget. What this resolution covers, folks, I'm taking this particular one, is that there is, when additional monies come in, if there's an anticipated expense and that the monies that come in exceed that anticipated revenue, it's proper to do a board resolution to accept and take in those additional monies. Also in this resolution, there was under the 2018 Fire and EMS Dispatch Services, this was a bill that I discussed briefly in the past. That particular bill from the EMS dispatch would actually put the EMS and fire contract line items over. So we're taking that additional monies and then moving that back over. The resolution goes to describe that, how the money's coming out of the general fund, moving over into the ambulance fund. If anybody wanted to sit down with me and talk about this, it gets a little technical. I don't talk about it now, and we can get into a lengthy discussion. But I would like to make a motion to approve resolution 2019-16, which is amending the 2018 budget.
I second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 13 under new business, we have resolution 2019-17. This is 2018 budget transfers. You can tell that we're going through and preparing to file our annual update document. The budget transfer resolution essentially is the certain appropriation accounts, any time that an appropriation on a budgetary line item is essentially exceeded, it's the chief financial officer's responsibility to make that account whole. We shouldn't be going over the budget line item. Obviously, a budget is, it's kind of a forecast of what the expense is, and you try to get as close as you can. But there are a list of different accounts on this particular resolution. But this budget, again, this resolution will approve the budget transfers to make those accounts whole, which are required by law. So without further ado, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Town of Boston Resolution 2019-17 regarding the 2018 budget transfers.
I'll second that.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Item number 14 under new business, we have resolution 2019-18, authorizing of additional accessory building at 9172 Boston State Road, Boston, New York. Councilwoman Lukashik.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Pursuant to the Boston Town Code, Section 123-124, no more than one accessory building shall be constructed on a lot except when authorized by the town board. And whereas Michael Cardicchini has requested permission to erect a second accessory building on his property located at 9172 Boston State Road, New York, and the code enforcement officer has advised the town board that the proposed storage barn otherwise meets code requirements for size and location. The proposed action is classified as a type 2 action under Part 617.5C9 of the Seeker Act, and no further seeker action or determination is required with respect to the proposed action. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Boston hereby authorizes the proposed addition of a car storage barn accessory building at 9172 Boston State Road, Boston, New York, subject to all other requirements of the town code, including issuance of the building permit. I make a motion we approve resolution number 2019-18.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 15 under new business this evening, we have approved the service of work credits for the Boston Volunteer Fire Company, Boston Emergency Squad, and then also the Passion Volunteer Fire Company just earned their reports this evening. Anybody that was downstairs this evening at the agenda review meeting did have the opportunity to review all of the service of work point and information that's sent over to Penflex. But I'd like to make a motion to approve those reports that were filed, so we can all sign off on those documents.
I'll second that.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. And we've already covered our old business again under the agenda earlier this evening. That was our public hearing, so we'll move on to reports and presentations. Town clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The town clerk monthly report for February has been filed in the supervisor's office. There are two Food Bank of Western New York donation boxes here at the town hall. One is upstairs in the foyer and the other is downstairs near the bottom of the stairs. So please donate your non-perishable items for the Food Bank of Western New York if you feel so inclined. County taxes were due March 15th. We are in the penalty phase of the collection through July 2nd. Payments are made in the town clerk's office until that date. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Highway Superintendent.
Yes, spring street sweeping on all town roads has started. We'll sweep all the streets at least once. Anyone that needs leaves picked up in the spring, you must bag the leaves and give the highway department a call, we'll pick them up. But in the springtime, we're chipping brush and it's a different machine and a different box on the truck. So in the springtime, you must bag your leaves. Brush pickup starts April 1st weekend, or the first week in April, and it goes all month of April. And in the month of May, it starts May 1st, and we do one pickup in May, so you gotta have your brush out on May 1st. The men have been out doing shoulder work and plow damage from the winter. They've been out cleaning up shoulders and cleaning ditches. So anybody needing fill, we're gonna have fill coming up. Anybody that lives in a subdivision and wants their ditches cleaned, please just call the highway department. We usually don't go into the subdivisions because most people don't want their ditches cleaned. So that's all I got in the highway department. Parks department, parks workers are looking for a new tractor, a zero-turn mower for the parks department. We got prices from Landpro for a new zero-turn mower. The price is $14,899.53. That's after we're getting a trade-in of $4,650. So if the board deems the old mower surplus equipment and passes a resolution, we'd like to get rid of that and get a new mower in the Parks Department. And I guess that's all I have tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. Councilman Winter.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Yes, the attorney for the town and myself have frequently been in contact with one another. We are rolling in on finishing the request for proposal for the new refuse collection for the town upcoming. We have quite a few requests of all of the different companies to say, you know, what would your price be if this and if that. So that it's going to be a lengthy process for us, but it'll be worth it hopefully in the end, cost-wise for the residents. Hoping to have that completed by end of month so that we can get it out to all of the refuse collectors in the area and get some proposals or get some numbers back from them as soon as possible. And that's it right now, Mr. Supervisor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Luther.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I want to thank the planning board for all their work regarding the Boston Fire Station number 2. They asked challenging questions, they reviewed it with a fine-tooth comb, so I want to thank them for their time. The next meeting for the planning board is April 9th at 7:30. The code committee will meet directly after the meeting. And that's all I have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Martin.
From what I hear, although I was not able to attend it, the Conservancy Advisory Committee had their snowshoe and snowman building event, and I hear it was a success. The next meeting for the Conservancy Advisory Committee is March 25th, that I will be attending. And the zoning board next meeting is April 4th, and there are a couple things on the agenda for that evening at 7 p.m.
Thank you very much. Yes, I will say I attended the snowshoeing event. It was actually quite a bit of fun, and it was actually snowing that day. Not that we want to see any more snow, but it certainly worked out for the event. That was nice. So for my report, next month is actually Fair Housing Month. I don't know if anybody's aware of that, but Fair Housing, I happen to be the Fair Housing Officer for the municipality. I partner essentially with, or work in conjunction with Erie County and HOME, which is Housing Opportunities Made Equal. And I've reached out to Erie County, where we're working with Southtown for Rural Preservation, putting together some kind of a, like an event or an open house. We haven't quite exactly figured out how we want